Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Live stream number 39, October 18th, 2021. I am really glad you're here, and you're going to be glad you're here too, because I think we have a fun night in store. We have gone global. We're going international. We have a guest tonight from another time zone, another country. You know all about it. It's Wooly from Woolys World. We're going to bring him in here very soon, and you're going to get to ask questions and interact. But it's very exciting. Very exciting. All right, checking sound, jumping around here. So many comments coming in. That's really exciting that so many people are already on tonight. So thank you for that. Dave, first one here. Dave from RCF Polar Express won the stickers last week. Good to see you, Dave. And then Margaret and Chris, Kevin, Brutal Bob, all of our old friends are here tonight. So hopefully some of you already follow Woolys World. If not, hopefully you'll jump on his channel and start to follow him as well. But it's gonna be fun. Ross, hey man, good to see you. I just watched one of your videos today. Enjoyed it very much. That's right. You commented about it because we talked about the Kawasaki Mule. I would like to have a I'd like to have one of those Kubota sidekicks, but just because it's Kubota, I guess. But I like that Kawasaki Mule. I like that it's a little smaller than some of the other ones. But anyway, maybe we'll talk about that sometime. James is here from Killing It Country, and Phil from Peterson Farms of Little Nashville. John, good to see you. Yes, John, thanks for mentioning the new background. That's right. I'm in a different location here. There you go, Ross. You might notice I dressed things up a little bit. Changed the background, pushed the camera even further away. So, you know, because I just thought I would like to change things up a little bit. So thanks for noticing that, because I did spend some time dressing the set here. You know, we've got the map in the background, and the shelves with the Woodland Mills hat and the Kubota hat, and you know. Anyway, thanks for noticing that. I appreciate it. I meant to mention that. Let's see if I have anything to talk about. Oh yeah, I do. Of course I do. I mean, it's what we do here every night. So it's live stream number 39. I always put out this reminder that you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, and we posted some things about tonight's program on, I think, both of those platforms. So look us up on Facebook and Instagram. It's a great way to connect there. If you like the live stream, give it a thumbs up. Appreciate that very much. If you are a new subscriber and if it's your first time here tonight joining a live stream, put it in the comments in the live chat so we can say hi to you, and some of the other folks here can say hi to you and welcome you. So if you are here for the first time, we're really glad that you joined us. Reminder as we go through this evening that you'll be able to post questions in the live chat for myself, for Wooly. So if you want your question answered on air, there's a better chance of that happening if you type in the word question in all caps first, followed by your question. That just means there's a better chance that I'll see it. Can't guarantee that all questions will be seen and or answered, but it's helpful to us if you type in the word question first. It's worked out pretty well, I think. You know, they do stand out, and appreciate your participation there. Well, I already started talking about tonight's show. Again, you know we've got Wooly here from Woolys World. So Wooly has two channels. We're going to talk about Woolys World, and we're going to talk about his other channel that he started as a result of some different content that he was doing. And of course, he's over in Ireland, and I don't know if I know any other Irish YouTubers in our little circle here. So I think that's pretty fun. We are going to do a bumper sticker giveaway later, so that's fun. So, and then we might have some fun facts to talk about, but I don't want to keep Wooly waiting, or you. So we'll bring him on here momentarily. Looking at comments here. Who's your helpers? Hey, Edward Joyce and Colleen. Hello to both of you. Arnie's here. John from a Ritterbit will do. Just left for GIE. All right, good to see. I saw, John, that Tractor Time with Tim is going to be there. So there are two folks that we're familiar with, so that'll be good. Look forward to your report on that. And that's great. So, yeah. Let me go back here. I hate these delays, you know, that when I click around and look lost. It probably doesn't look as bad to you as it feels to me. You know, it feels like it's taken forever to find where I want to go. But anyway. So, going to bring Wooly on in about 1 minute. Again, if you've not seen his channel, it's Woolys World on YouTube. So I'm going to show you a little bit of an introduction, and then we'll bring Wooly on as soon as it's over, and we'll start chatting. How's that sound? Pretty good? All right. Here you go.
Wow. Wooly here. Wooly here. Wooly here. Wow. Wooly here. Makes me look like I'm bald, doesn't it? Guys, do I need a compact tractor? Guys, here's the crack, right? The Husqvarna versus the Hultaford. That's what has me thinking about getting a compact tractor. A subcompact tractor or a compact tractor. Old school, all the way. Stay frosty. Stay frosty. Stay frosty. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty. Guys, thanks for watching. Do yourself a favour. Get outside. Bring the family outside, okay? That is going to be what I'm going to push this year. Is I'm going to push people getting outside, okay? Thanks for watching. Stay frosty. Get outside.
Get outside. There he is, live in person. It's Wooly from Woolys World. How are you, man?
Well, how's it going, Ed? Thank you very much for having me. And I was watching that introduction there, and I was thinking to myself, you probably should be editing my videos because that looked amazing. Except for the crazy Irishman doing all the talking, of course. But yeah, thanks for having me. So, Gias Mordich, Edward.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Edward just said Gia Ditch, which is Irish for sort of like, how's it going? Gias Mordich. How are you? I'm not too bad. Nice. That would be a sort of translation. So there you go. Just to confuse everybody.
Started out confusing me. So, yes. Hey, I want to thank you for staying up late tonight. I know that we're in a different time zone. Yeah. It's 5 hours.
12:09.
It's tomorrow in Ireland. Wooly, what's it like in the future?
Oh, it's amazing.
What's tomorrow like?
It's amazing. Cars can fly. The Jetsons Tuesday. Are a reality. You know, it's just fantastic.
It's Tuesday in Ireland.
Yes.
Now listen, I don't want to insult you, but I might start talking like you because it just kind of rubs off on me, you know.
Yeah.
No,
I am infectious.
That's true.
No, I have an infection. Sorry,
I'm wondering if I try to speak. Now, my wife said it's not an Irish accent; it's a brogue. You don't call it an accent. Do you call it an accent?
I would call a brogue a shoe, or a shoe a brogue.
So yes. If I speak a little bit Irish, sound like I'm Irish, could I pull it off, or do I sound a little Irish, or do you sound like an American trying to sound Irish?
Well, you have to go for it now, don't you?
I do. I do. That's all right. I had John Ritter on here, and we were speaking like Minnesotans in Minnesota. We always like talking like that. So I'm going to have some questions for you. You can see that the live chat, you can read that, right? You saw that?
I can, yes.
So
yes. I am upstairs. Killing the Country thinks I'm upstairs in one of your bedrooms somewhere. So,
you know, we didn't coordinate the lighting.
I have fancy. See this stuff, look.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Couldn't
if you
find
want
the
to
remote
change the
control.
color so we don't look the same, that way people won't think we're in the same room. There we
Let me
go.
see.
Nice.
See,
Very nice.
this
Kubota
is where
orange.
nearly teenage children come in handy.
It's there's green for Ireland. Very nice. Very nice. So anyway, I'm gonna have some questions for you. Folks in
No
the comments
problem.
are gonna have
Work
questions.
away.
We're gonna talk to you about your need for a compact tractor. I don't think there's a question about that. You know, you said, "Do I need one?" Yeah. Who's gonna say no? You don't need that. So you're gonna get a lot of folks jumping in on here, and then I do want to talk about. I do want to talk about your channels, of course. I have a question before we get into tractor
So, hang on,
discussions.
I have a request.
A request. Charlie, don't surf. Okay.
Bonus points if you can name the movie, and bonus points if you can name the pop culture that it comes from. There you go.
Okay. Well, I don't know the answer to that one, so folks in the comments can answer that. If you see it, let us know. I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have these in Ireland?
No.
Do you have Lucky Charms?
No.
You don't
no.
have
That
Lucky
would
Charms
be
in Ireland?
that would be considered. I don't even know what you would consider that. No, I've never seen. I've only ever seen Lucky Charms in America. That's the only place I've ever seen them.
Have you ever had them?
No. My dentist would love for me to have them, but I would probably become instantly diabetic if I ate them, I think.
A lot of
Yes,
Americans
Ross
are.
on the Land, and Edward Baker have got that right. So fair play, guys. I think Edward might have got in a couple of seconds beforehand with the answer to that.
Nice.
Yes,
Good job, Edward Barker and Edward Barker and Ross and Land got it. Very good. Well, anyway, I was just curious. I was curious if you had these. They are, as we all know, magically delicious. And I was curious too that if the leprechaun just sounded like a regular guy to you, because over here, we're all like, "Oh, the leprechaun, they're magically delicious," but to you, it would just be like a regular guy, right? Tom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It could live down the road. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah. Well,
unless he was from Darby O'Gill and the Little People, or one of these John Wayne type American movies, or Irish American movies, So that's the movie, the Irish. That's what we would call that.
You'd call it what?
The Irish, the non-Irish people pretending to be Irish for the sake of a movie.
Oh.
The Irish with an O, so it's O-I-R-I-S.
Oh, Irish.
Irish. It's hard. It's hard to say that for an Irish person,
Irish.
Irish.
Oh, it just doesn't come out right.
I feel like I'm having a stroke.
I get mixed up between an Irish brogue and Australian and Scottish too.
Well, Scottish would be similar because it's from that Celtic language, So and we're very close. I think 12 miles at our closest point between Scotland and Ireland. So, but we would be classed as definitely Celtic cousins, and we speak the same. Our native language is the same. It's Gaelic in Scotland, and it's Gaelic in Ireland. So
right,
very similar. So
and they're bringing that back, right?
Here,
Gaelic, aren't they trying to bring it back? No.
There's still a lot parts of Ireland where it would be sort of very common spoken, but it's not really. No,
I thought they were putting it more back, like in street signs. They'd have both.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, all that stuff. Yes, but it's
Okay.
not a common spoken language. It's not. Keegan, Apocalypse Later. So answering questions, multitasking. See, a man can multitask. Watch a live stream. It's unfortunately it's not a very relevant language. It's not like Spanish or something, Yes, Edward, exactly.
Irish.
Yeah. So
Joyce must be Irish. He must have an Irish background.
Yes, Edward Joyce. It's an Irish type name as well, isn't it?
Right.
He'd be Eddie Joyce over here.
I shared Eddie Joyce. Nice. I shared on the channel that I traveled to Ireland in 2004 with my family, and we went to Lenan. It was beautiful. I loved it. My experience driving on, I don't know why you guys drive on the wrong side of the road, but my experience with that was horrible. Very stressful. What's wrong with you? Like,
I think it is to do with your sword hand.
Really?
I think it's to do with the way that they drew their sword when they were on their horses. Something like that. That could just be like one of those absolutely mental thoughts that has come into my head, but I do feel like it's the difference between the French and the English driving on each side of the road, and that's where it comes from. It was to do with the way that they were taught to charge on their horses and to draw a sword.
That's interesting. It works for me.
It could be absolute fabrication, but I can deliver it with conviction. So
you know what? It's the first explanation I've ever heard. So let's go with it, because I've said before, I wonder how that even happened. Like, so, but that could be,
it could be, and it's the same. It's the reason why you give people the fingers as well. So it's not to do with swords, but it's to do with the English used to catch the French, and the archers were like the special forces in the Napoleonic Wars, because they're the most skilled, the most highly trained. So when they captured them, they would cut their fingers off. So when they were not captured and they're in the war, they would give the fingers to the opposing armies to show that they were still in the fight. So
interesting.
More useless information. I'm an archery instructor, you see, so I have lots of these.
I was going to say you are a well-learned man over there.
No, a wealth of useless information is more of a
I think there's no such thing as useless information. I think it's all very interesting. For sure. I was just checking my phone. See, I was multitasking as well, because my wife is due home any moment, and the dog is outside barking because I didn't want her barking in the house. It'll all work out.
Well, my dogs are asleep, which is handy. So otherwise they would be barking. And one in a few live feeds, my biggest dog Bruno, who you met when we had a little chat before, he has a habit of getting up and sitting on my lap when I'm doing my live feed. So I'm in exactly this position, except I have a German pointer sitting on my lap.
That's not a small dog. That's not a lap dog.
No, but he thinks he is.
He thinks he is.
Definitely thinks he is.
Well, let's talk about your channel, Woolys World. So I showed a little bit of the intro. You've done a lot of chainsaw work, splitting firewood, and now you're talking about getting a compact tractor. Somebody commented in the live chat earlier, what about a log splitter? You do everything by hand. Have you thought about a log splitter?
I have, and I have decided that I am not going to get a log splitter, because I really, really enjoy splitting wood by hand. It is one of these things I enjoy doing. I love going outside, and I love splitting wood, and it's I think a log splitter, like I'm in my early 40s, I think maybe a log split, I think actually splitting wood keeps me physically fit to a certain extent.
I'm sure.
Whereas if I had a log splitter, I think it would just, it might be too easy.
Well, I don't burn firewood. I burn a campfire, but we don't have a wood burning stove or fireplace here. But I cut trees on the property, and I did buy a splitting maul, and I do like splitting firewood manually, like you said. And I've done it. And I thought, boy, this is really good exercise. And then about 20 minutes later, I think this is horrible.
It depends. It really does. It's one of those things where I've spent a lot of time working with teaching groups, various groups, outdoor activities, and so that's my background as an outdoor instructor. So I don't know what you guys would call it in the States. Outdoor education instructor is what we call it here. So I would have taught, like canoeing and kayaking and hill walking and rock climbing and surfing and stuff like that. So
what would we call that? It's kind of a survivalist type of thing, but camping, you know,
Yeah,
camp instructor.
camping as well to a lesser extent, but that's what my business is now at the minute, is bushcraft and camping, which is definitely along the lines of the survival skills. So I would have looked into mindfulness and, you know, ways to sort of, you know, people talk about mindfulness and it's a buzzword, but
Yeah.
to me, mindfulness is digging a hole, you know, because you're digging a hole, you're just sort of digging a hole.
Being one with nature, right?
Yeah. So
Do
when,
you
when I'm splitting wood, it's the same. So it's
do you
just,
burn firewood for
yes.
heat?
Yep.
How much? There's a question here. How much wood do you split? Do you use cords over there, or how do you, or do you just split
Well,
until you need it?
I use cords as a measurement because I split by hand, but everybody uses weight as a measurement here. So everything is done in tons, not even in tons. Sorry, that's a little bit that's wrong. They do it in ton bags. So we have ton bags here. I don't know if you guys have them. They're like a big heavy duty, nearly like a nylon bag that has 4 big heavy loops on it.
I don't know if we
So
use them. I think we do. I don't know if I know we
you,
use them
you,
for
you
like dumpsters for trash and things like that, but maybe or
yeah,
rubbish. I'm not sure.
you fit a ton of sand into one. So
Okay.
they're called a ton bag, but that's the way they sell firewood. Nobody that I know, nobody I know actually splits, stores, and, you know, cuts, splits, stores, and dries their own firewood. Nobody over here. It's a very rare thing. Now, so what I've been burning only firewood for 3 years. So at the moment I'm 1 year ahead. So I have 2022 half stacked. So, but what I reckoned is I burn about 5 cords a year ish, roughly 5 cords a year. So
Okay.
yeah.
And you're seasoning the next year for.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for that. Now,
But
when I was over
this is
there,
the first time I've been able to do that.
when we were over there, they were like digging these blocks of what looked like dirt, and
Yep.
that's a fuel. What
Yep.
is that called?
That's called turf. So when I lived on the west coast, so I know we spoke about this, but I lived not far from Lannan, where you were on your holidays with your wife. So and that's the west of Ireland. So in the west of Ireland, and all these movies and stuff, you know, about the west of Ireland, Into the West, and all these old type movies, it's turf that they're burning. So it's basically decomposing vegetable matter. So it's peat.
Peat, right? Okay.
Yeah, but it's a different type of peat. So they cut it and they leave it out, and it hardens and dries, and you have to stack it. It's incredibly labor intensive. So everybody on the west of Ireland cuts their own turf,
Right.
dries it, stacks it, brings it in, stores it, and uses that for fuel for an entire year, and then repeats the whole process again. So everybody does that on the west coast, but nobody does anything like that on the east coast.
And does it burn, or does it just kind of smolter?
No, it burns.
It does burn.
It's good.
It
Yeah,
flames.
yeah. So and different. We take it out of a bog, so a peat bog. So but different peat bogs have different properties. So you can get real black stuff that will burn like coal.
Right.
You know,
Right.
as hot as coal as well. So, but it's all being the green government is cracking down on it. You know, because you're not supposed to be burning it anymore. Even though a lot of the power stations in Ireland would have actually ran on it.
Wow. Well, and it makes sense, because where we were, there really were no trees.
No.
They had these beautiful mountains, but they're a lot of rock. So people had to find fuel wherever they could, and obviously where you are, there's a lot of trees. Which when I discovered your channel, which when you did Splitter Wars 2020, that's how I came across your channel.
Yep.
And I just thought, oh, firewood in Ireland. I didn't think of that, because my experience was, you know, seeing the,
of course,
peat bogs, and so
the west of Ireland and the east of Ireland are like two different countries. It's bizarre. The weather in the west of Ireland is insane. It's crazy because it's just right against the Atlantic Ocean. So
Right.
it's very, which is windswept is what they would class it as.
Windy, overcast, right? Very overcast.
Yeah, very fast moving storms, you know, big seas. Lots and lots of surfing and kite surfing and extreme sports like that as well. You know, so it's a beautiful spot if you get the right day.
Right.
If you get the wrong day, you'll just get in your car and drive back to Dublin.
Well, when we went over there, we arrived and we couldn't see anything. It was just not haze, but fog
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And we had friends who owned a cottage over there, nice little beautiful spot. But when we got there, we couldn't see anything. And then after the morning, the fog burned off, and it revealed this beautiful mountainscape. It was just breathtaking.
Yeah,
So we just didn't even know until it all burned off and revealed itself. But just amazing.
And where you were is a very very nice part of the country as well. So
it was beautiful.
It really is, yeah.
We are hurting John Ritter's brain tonight. Too much information.
I am sorry.
He's a teacher. He can handle it. He'll take it to his class tomorrow and
yeah, he could actually fact check all this tomorrow and come back and let me know how much of this I have just made up in my brain along the way somewhere, you know. So
now Wendell has a question. Is this true, Willie? Not that I doubt you, Wendell, but is this a true story?
Tractor Man 44. Yes, that is true. The Bog Man. Yes. So the bogs are, you know, they're like wet patches, right? So and what happened was that the people lived in these bogs, or they traveled through these bogs and stuff, and they actually figured out that they could use these bogs to preserve stuff. I think it's an alkali environment or something like that. So they find butter that is hundreds and hundreds of years old, and they know how old it is by tasting it, because if it has salt, it's after a certain time, because that's when the civilization in Ireland discovered salt. But there's a bog man, which is the same as, you know, some guy who fell into the bog and died, and it was completely preserved by the water in the bog. Wow. Similar to there's a guy in the Alps in France, and there was that little girl in Peru as well who was frozen in the glacier.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tractor Man. That was very interesting.
Phew, I'm glad I passed my Irish history on that one.
You did.
But it preserves everything. It's unbelievable. They've found roads like thousands and thousands of years old where the Celts had actually cut oak and laid them across these bogs, like railway sleepers, laid them across. So they had hewn these with axes and cut them down, and it's only the oak that survived. So that's what they would have used the oak in building of their roundhouses and stuff like that, right, as well. And they know, because they only are able to find oak particles in certain places, but in other places they found, like, you know, everything pretty intact. So it's
Let's go with this a little bit longer, and because the viewers are commenting that they're really enjoying these facts. So I'm going to bring up some Irish fun facts.
Okay, go for it.
And you know, you'll probably know all these, but to those of us, to those of us here in the States, we won't. I looked up some of these today, and there are things that I did not know. For instance, I learned that St. Patrick was not Irish.
No, he's Welsh. He was they say he was sent to Ireland, but he probably was stolen and taken as a slave, I think was the original story I was told. Yes.
Okay. Well, see, but it's true. When you think of Irish, you think of St. Patrick. So that's interesting. And apparently it's true that there are no snakes in Ireland.
Not a one.
No snakes. Now that is nice. I like that. That's because St. Patrick drove them all away, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he had a big car. He put them all in the back and drove them out of Ireland.
Right.
Not a problem. We have lizards, but only one type of lizard. So.
Now, would snakes not survive there if somebody were to bring a snake? Well, two snakes.
It's too cold.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Ireland's nickname is the Emerald Isle. Do you call it that, or do other people call it that who are not Irish?
I think it's more an outside of Ireland thing. Yes, it's called the Emerald Isle because it is so green. And it's so green because it rains all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, this to me was very fascinating. Let's go back to this for a second. I read that there are no female leprechauns.
If you read it, it must be true.
It's true. Well,
So,
Daddy, where do leprechauns come from?
yeah.
There are no female leprechauns. Apparently, everything you read, there'll never be a female leprechaun in any of the...
Nature always finds a way.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And there are... your population of Ireland, I don't know if this is current, only 4.9 million people.
I would have said it around 7, but it could be right. It's a very... No, it's not actually. No, 4.9 is right. We probably peaked about 7 or 8 million just before the Irish famine, and then that brought us way back down. So
Right.
There was a lot of people emigrated, and forced emigration, deportation. It's not even emigration, and there was lots of people died in the famine as well.
Oh.
So, yep.
So that's probably accurate, not counting leprechauns.
Not counting leprechauns.
Right.
No. Sure, they had their lucky charms.
Well-
Sure, they were never going to starve.
There, and this was interesting to me too. Apparently, there are more Irish people abroad than actually in Ireland.
That I would say, yeah, we export a lot of backpackers. It's like our biggest export.
Well, I mean, if your population is 4.9 million, according to what I read, there are 33 million Irish Americans in the United States. So that's
there's a worldwide issue here, right? When you boil it down to this, it's like the world is made up of 2 types of people: the Irish and those that wish they were Irish. And that's just the way it goes. And we have successfully colonized every country in the world like undercover agents. We just snuck in. You just, you go to a bar, you wake up in the morning, there's an Irish person on your sofa.
I married one, so that's the next best thing, right?
Exactly. And I'm sure to this day you're going, how did that happen?
Right?
See, that's Irish Secret Service. That's
How did
what
I
they
get
do.
so lucky?
We all have a little thing in the back of our neck, and someday somebody in the Irish government will press a button, and all these Irish people all over the world will just suddenly spring to life and overthrow every government with boxes of Lucky Charms and pints of Guinness.
Well, I wish she had an accent or a brogue, but she was born here, so it was her grandparents who immigrated from Ireland, but from both sides. So she's 100%.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant, and it is such a thing in America to be Irish, and it's so cool for Irish people to see that. It's like America's got our back.
We love the Irish people, right? It's
all 4.9 million of us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's a bit mind-boggling when you look at the things that the Irish people have accomplished on the world stage, so, and then you sort of think back and you go, I could drive from one side of the country in 4 hours. I could just because we're right in the East Coast, and in 4 hours I could be right in the West Coast,
Right.
So.
Wow, and it would take me that long to drive north to south in our state.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. Hey, no offense there, Vinny. I think Wooly is smarter than me. You're good with your history for sure.
That is self-taught, because unfortunately here they don't teach Irish history, so it's too divisive.
So just don't teach it. Don't talk about it, right?
Never
you have to learn it.
No. Shh.
Well, like you said earlier, say it with confidence.
That's it.
And it's true. So let's go back then to your channel, Woolys World. What do you think your primary focus is on that channel? I know we're going to talk about your other channel as well. Do a lot of wood splitting, but what if you could describe Woolys World to the audience? How would you describe Woolys World?
It is my world.
It's everything woolly.
it is born out of bring it back to the Irish thing again, is that we're all performers at heart. We all love the stage, and you know, there's a lot of Irish people. You go to Irish people, they're singing songs and they're playing music and they're doing all this, you know. So I enjoyed acting and doing all that sort of stuff when I was younger, and I just was really getting into the outdoors and starting to head down that, it's not self-reliance, but sort of head down that path. So I just started recording that and thought, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing. I can definitely wing this and become an overnight YouTube sensation. 6 years later, here I am still crushing it every day.
I think you're a sensation. You know, it's
yeah.
Like I said, I don't think I follow any other Irish YouTubers. I don't know.
Somebody mentioned another one there. Way back at the start of the feed, somebody was talking about another Irish channel that I'd never. There's a couple of guys over in the west of Ireland, and there's a few. There's definitely a few outdoor bushcrafty type guys, but I don't. Let me see there. Oh no, sorry. I thought somebody said as well. But I don't know. I know that there's a lot of makeup people. You know, these makeup channels that have like 100 million subscribers and you know 600,000 views per second. It's just for
putting makeup on, right?
Yes.
Have you tried that? Maybe you should do a makeup video.
Well, we did actually float the idea. So my kids, we were going to do a Minecraft makeup tutorial.
Oh yeah.
And the kids, one kid was going to teach me how to play Minecraft, and the other one was going to do makeup on me at the same time.
Wow.
Might actually go back to that one, yeah. And then that's it. Then I'll be on the YouTube gravy train then, you know. So way out west with Sandra and Tim. That was Polar Express just there.
Oh, that's the that's the Irish channel, huh? Way out west.
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
Okay, well, we'll have to all go check it out. Reminder to the viewers tonight: if you're not subscribed to Woolys World, make sure that when we're done the live stream tonight, you head on over there, check out some of his content. If it's a fit for you, make sure you subscribe, because you're a lot of fun to watch. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And again, I found you when you did the Splitter Wars. I actually found you through GP Outdoors, because he participated in Splitter Wars 2020. So I was already following his channel.
Must have been the first one then, I think.
Must have been the first one.
Yeah.
So I was already following his channel, so I saw his promotion for Splitter Wars, and then he mentioned, you know, there are like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 other channels participating, and he mentioned all those. So I went through and I checked out each one of those channels, and yours was one of them.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad you did.
Yes, I am too.
Yes, Splitter Wars was an adventure. I have to say it was. So that's going back to your original question. So that is the type of content that I do. I split wood because I enjoy it, and it's part of my life. I cut trees, only little trees now. I'm not into cutting down big trees. I'm self-taught, so I'm learning this. And I also build projects. You know, I come up with these ideas and I go do things. So, and I am not trained in any of these things. I just sort of do it and see what happens. And it has been mostly successful. I haven't killed myself yet, so
that's a good goal. You know, that's if you get by without doing that, then you're a success. You're a success.
Yes.
So
Benjamin, you're very welcome. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for the sub.
Oh, good. There we go. I wasn't sure what you were responding to. I was looking at the comments there. But projects with Paul, he mentioned that he just subbed to Woolys World. Very nice.
Thank you very much. And that's a nice little tractor Paul has there. Right? Yeah. So this collaboration that we have here, just for Ed subscribers, it came about because of my want or my need or my I'd like one of those. Yes. What kind of tractor does Woolly really need? This is the question.
And
so
you have several acres that you maintain, right?
Yes, well, it's 2.5 acres of woodland. Well, I'm going to say half an acre of grassland, and the rest is very, very dense scrub and brush and pine trees. But I also do a fair bit of big garden projects. I'm one of these people that is called in when other people can't really do it. So
Right.
it's like there's brambles this high. Send Wooly in with his brush cutter, and I will stand there for 6 hours, brush cutting stuff, So that's where I'm at at this time of my life. I'm thinking to myself, I could be sitting somewhere and doing this easier,
For sure.
The B2601. I'll just address the Charlie Don't Surf thing just before it goes any further. Charlie Don't Surf was a line in Apocalypse Now. Yes. It was actually it was a pop culture statement because Charles Manson was said to be a surfer when he was going around killing all those people in California, and the surfers were saying Charlie Don't Surf, so it got incorporated into the movie as a line in relation, as a throwback to that was going on. Sort of, I don't think it was around the same time, but it probably around the same time as the Vietnam War was going on.
Okay.
There you go.
We cleared that up. Excellent.
No, so, not very hilly. Not very hilly.
Okay.
And it would mostly be brush cutting, so it would mostly be some sort of flail mower, and probably a lift or a front bucket of some description. Yes, Robert Duvall said it. Yes.
Wow, I love Robert Duvall.
Yeah, he's very, very good in that movie.
So the B2601, a lot of comments here. Of course, that's what I have. So a lot of the viewers here have B2601s. Now, do you have the same models that we have over there? Or maybe you wouldn't even know that, but...
No, as far as I know, we do. And a Kubota is something that I have seen a lot of. Now, price-wise, they are expensive. Now, you would be talking maybe $10,000 to $12,000 second-hand used. So, yeah. And that would be for maybe it's hard to put it in, yeah, a grapple would be handy, but I think I could probably get away without it. Just a bucket would do, the price point, you basically talk, there's the old school Kubota with the skinny wheels, the little 12, 15 horsepower ones.
Yeah,
you're probably talking in and around $4,000 for something like that.
Right.
And once you get up into the 25, 30 horsepower range, add $4,000 onto everything. So I'm in true Woolys World fashion. I'm just waiting for Kubota to ring me up and say, we have 6 tractors here, Dermot, come take one, and just take them all. Actually, you got the gift of the gab. You can wing this, and you might sell us one tractor in 40 years, but
you might be waiting a while, but
yes.
We would all love for that to happen for sure. I'd love that to happen for you. So you've got Kubotas over there. John Deere is an international company, worldwide company. We have people who have Mahindras. I don't know if you have any brands that we're not familiar with over here, but
we have we would have Mitsubishis. We would have Isleki, I think is how you pronounce it. So I think there is a big market for these type of tractors in Eastern Europe. So I think that's where a lot of these come from. Now, there's a guy up the road, I say maybe an hour away, an hour and a half, and he imports a lot of these. So he is always advertising these tractors. So you do see them come up on auction online, but like an auction somewhere in Budapest or something like that, So, but these guys obviously buying these and shipping them over. So, you can pick up a bog standard one with absolutely no attachments and no real facility to put a front loader on it.
Right.
Probably handy enough, but I think you sort of need to go. I think if you're getting one, you sort of need to go. You need to step it up a bit, don't you? That is the general consensus.
Well, I can tell you that the front end loader is I think it's essential. I
Okay.
think my tractor would be. I'd only be able to use it for 10% of what I do without the front end loader. I mean, that makes it so much more useful. I can't. If you think you have a use for a front end loader, I couldn't recommend getting one without one. I think you would just get so much more use out of it, so much more.
Yeah. You see, the guys on my channel had recommended that just to get a back box. They said that it won't lift obviously the same height as the front end loader,
Right.
but it is going to lift the same amount. And what they were talking about was the safety aspects of front loaders and stuff like that. Now, the thing about here is that you very rarely see a tractor with a front loader.
Really?
And if you do, it's a big machine. So maybe in the last 15 years in Ireland, we have gone from everybody having a little small John Deere tractor, with very few implements, to hundreds of 50, 80,000 pound machines on the road. Massive, massive, massive tractors, so it's like there's no in between. Do you know what I mean? So it's so like this. So growing up, I never saw a tractor with a front end loader, never in my life. And I grew up rural and worked on farms and stuff like that. So
That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. And here, it would be rare now for someone to buy a tractor without a front end loader.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, just it seems like every compact, subcompact tractor is sold with a front end loader. Some people buy them strictly for mowing, and they don't. They just have a belly mower and but no front end loader. But yeah.
And what do you guys reckon on a belly mower? This is something I have always thought no, but people are saying, oh well, if you're going to be doing a lot of gardens and stuff like that, the belly mower is a handy thing to have.
It's definitely a handy thing to have. A lot of people here have the belly mower. I've got a rear finish mower. I did a whole video on why I chose that over the belly mower. I think it's easier to attach and detach. The belly mower is more maneuverable, but I've heard that they're a little bit more cumbersome to remove and attach. So if you don't get the belly mower, you always have the option of some type of rear, like you said, a flail mower or a rotary mower or a finish mower. It's not the end of the world if you don't get the belly mower, because you can add that. To add a backhoe or a front end loader later is going to be very costly. And
yes. That was the general idea as well, or the general consensus as well, was that if you're to retrofit a front end loader is serious business, and probably something that you wouldn't even be able to do here in Ireland, so to get in the parts and get it done like that. Now the thing is, if you buy one without the mid mower, right, is there still two PTO shafts on it, or is there only one at the back?
Well, it depends on the tractor. Like my B2601, I didn't get the mid-mount belly mower, but it has a mid-mount PTO shaft. I've never used it. I probably never will, but it just depends on what tractor you get. I think all the B series, the BX series have the mid-mount the mid PTO. The new LX series, I know GP has one. Chris from Watershed Outlook has an LX. I don't know if the LX has a mid PTO. It's getting to be a lot, not a lot bigger, but maybe bigger than what you even need there for your couple of acres.
Yeah, probably.
Somebody commented here they have 6 acres or 10 acres with the B2601 in it, and they find that to be sufficient. So you might even be happy with the BX series, which is the smaller. That's the subcompact.
The subcompact, yeah.
And I'm only using these terms because I know Kubota. I don't know what the subcompact numbers are for a John Deere. So I'm saying BX, meaning in that platform, whether it be Kubota or John Deere, Mahindra, whatever they are.
Yeah. Basically, if you're looking at a John Deere here, you just add maybe 3,000 onto the price. They
are more
unbelievable.
Chris says the LX does have a mid PTO, so there you go. Okay. You can even go a little bigger if you wanted to have that. So, but yeah, a lot of folks have the BX series. John Ritter does, and I see the Mindful Homestead. Jack is here. saying hey to Pale Horse. He has the BX series. So,
A
gosh,
lot of compact tractor knowledge on here right now. David has a question there about Limerick. I am nearly opposite the country from Limerick. I'm nearly as far away as you can get.
ah, so not far at all. I mean,
No,
not
I've
close at
been
all.
there before. It's nice.
Well, you said you're not far from everything. You can drive.
Yes, that's true. Yes, you can just drive everywhere. It's
Yeah. So what's your are you thinking of used, or are you thinking of new? Like the dealers, the manufacturers have good financing options here. I don't know if they do that for you over there. Like Kubota has the 0% down, 0 down, 0% financing. I don't know if those options are available to you over there. So that's a
not
good
a
way to
lot
go.
of options when it comes that way. It's in my head, I haven't even looked at a new one. I would assume that to find an actual dealer in Kubota, or a specific dealer in one brand, would be quite difficult. I know that there is one in Mayo, but that's in the Republic of Ireland. Because so there's a border issue.
Right.
Because then I would have to import the tractor from
Wow.
the Republic of Ireland to Northern Ireland, and then there's duty and there's tax and there's a currency difference, and so for me living in Northern Ireland, I would have to look to the UK. So this is why I'm thinking of used, because if
Yeah.
it comes in used, everything's pretty much done, and you're just going up and you're buying something, and the only real kicker is going to be VAT or something on top, value added tax or something on top of it.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so and I have never had a loan in my life, so I would be one of these people who has zero 0%, zero credit history, no
Right.
credit cards, nothing like that. So I
Well,
would walk into this place and they would just look straight through me, because they wouldn't be able to see me with my
as mentioned
zero
before,
credit
you
rating.
are a smarter man than I am, because I think that's great to not have credit uh, debt at all. Like, that's fantastic. Um,
To a certain
but
extent, until I go looking for a mortgage or something like that.
right,
Uh,
and
Now there's the question there, Tractor Man 44. That was the reason why I was asking about the Ballymore, is that I am on uneven terrain all the time. So this would be the thing,
yeah,
for the amount of time that I use it, would I be better off just getting one without it? Uh,
yeah, it does affect your ground clearance for sure.
yeah.
That's one of the things I also like about the rear mounted 3-point mounted finish mower is I can raise that thing
Yeah, and
straight up,
it will move with the more. Yeah.
right, and you can just lift it up and get it out of the way. So that's a good point, that it's going to be under there. So unless you remove it, you're going to have limited ground clearance.
Yes. Okay.
So, but your options are probably pretty limited if you're looking for used machines, because they're hard to find sometimes, and it sounds like they may even be harder to find over there.
Yeah.
To
It
for what
it's
to
it,
get what
it's
you're
just a
looking for.
matter of waiting for the right one to come up. So I think if it's for you, it won't pass you. That's what we will say here. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So at a certain stage of my future, I will have money just at the right time, and the right
Something will
tractor
come
will come
along.
up.
Well, that's a good attitude, because
Yeah.
it does seem to always work out. Uh,
Yes. The planets align, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
But what we would say here is, if it's for you, it won't pass you. So
I like it. I
yeah.
like that. I have to write that one down. So you have a lot of support here. People are gonna suggest you definitely should get a compact or subcompact tractor.
Yeah.
Once you have it, you'll wonder how you did without it, because you just use it all the time for so many things. And with what you do in the forest there, we're almost out of time, but we didn't really talk about your other channel, which is the Red Branch Bushcraft, and that's where you work on the what did you call it, the bushcraft education, which is outdoors and
Yeah.
uh, and
Yeah.
and building things, and is that the property where you would use it, where you have that?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's my property, where I have a bushcraft school. So I teach semi-survival skills. So I will teach what we would call bushcraft, which is like using knives and lighting fires and building shelters and stuff like that. So, but a lot of the work, but because it was a very, the planting that was done in the forest was all done wrong, completely wrong. And I know that because I planted all the trees.
Oh boy. Takes a long time to discover that, because by the time the trees grow up, it's like, oh.
Listen. When I think I was about 17, and my uncle got about 20 young fellas together and said, there is bags and bags of trees. When those trees are planted, boys, you can go home and there's your wages and everything. So we buried them in holes and threw them in the river and did everything. And now here I am, 25 years later, 4 years clearing a forest.
Cutting them down. Well, young Wooly gave older Wooly something to do, right?
That's exactly, and give him a YouTube channel, you know.
That's
so.
right. Young Wooly planted content for you, for sure.
It's funny. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's just the way life comes around. So
yeah.
I would have said that I would never even have been back in this part of Ireland, you know, never mind be back working my family's land, you know. So generally the way it works, Watershed, is that I would do classes. So I do a lot of camps. I do a lot with teaching with kids. I always get a lot of interest from adults, and they're all saying, "Oh, Wooly, when you put on a course, I want to do this, I want to do that." And then I put on the course, and no adults ever book, but they're happy to leave their kids with me. And so that's what I do. So starting next week, I have a Halloween camp. I run advanced classes every Saturday and Sunday. And I'm actually doing some stuff with the local primary schools as well. So it's fun. It's fun.
Very nice.
You're giving these kids something that they've never had, you know. So, you know, you're showing them how to light a fire, and then you're letting them do it, and they're like, you know,
that's great.
Nobody's shouting at them.
And, I mean, what kid doesn't love to play with fire, right?
I know, in a safe and controlled way. And
I sure loved it, and got into trouble with it too. So you know, it was interesting. Yeah. I think I also read that Halloween came from Ireland. I don't know if that's true or not.
That is also true.
Another fun fact for sure.
It's to do it's a Celtic tradition. It's to do with burning. A lot of it has actually stayed, not the trick or treating or anything like that, but the jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that is all from the Irish people used to carve turnips. And I don't know if you have ever tried to carve a turnip, but I am surprised that there's still 4.9 million people left, and that not more people died carving turnips, because it is ridiculously dangerous. They're so hard. It's like knife in the hand, you know, cut wrists, you know. But no, a lot of that is true. So it was to do with I think it was basically an end of harvest celebration,
right?
With the bonfire and the stuff, and the two worlds were meant to meld, you know, sort of come closer together, the spirit world and the human world. So
very nice. Well, let's do something fun here right now, Wooly.
Yeah, go for it.
What we do every week is we give away stickers.
Nice.
So I'm going to do a sticker giveaway now, and I have to apologize if any of your viewers are watching. I could only mail these to the United States and Canada, so. But I think we have a lot of our regulars here tonight, and tonight we're going to give away a bumper sticker, just like this. Sometimes I give away these round stickers, but tonight we're doing the bumper sticker, and the rule is if you've won one of these bumper stickers in the past, you will not enter the competition, but if you've not won in the past, you get to enter. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to share a word, and people are going to type it on the screen. We're going to do hashtag Shamrock. How original is that? So folks in the live chat can enter the word hashtag Shamrock, and if you've not won the sticker, and if you're in the United States and Canada, you could win tonight. So we'll see the comments start coming in. Linda asked why I can't mail them to Ireland. I don't know. I don't know too much about international mailing. Canada's easy. You know, just go to the post office and they put a special stamp on for Canada. But I don't know about worldwide mailing. So, have you seen any of your audience on here from Ireland that you're aware of?
I don't think. I think maybe I might have maybe 2 or 3 subscribers from Ireland. Not a lot. A lot of my subscribers would be USA based, and a lot of my very active subscribers would be USA based. A lot Woolys Warriors, we call them. We named them a little while ago.
Nice.
I don't really. I don't really.
So go over to Woolys World and subscribe, and you too can be a Woolys Warrior.
You sure can. You sure can.
And your Irish viewers are sleeping right now because it's 1 o'clock in the morning over there.
Right, yeah. And
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, yeah. I think I'm 50-50 between. No, probably not 50-50, but it's pretty close. UK and the States. I'm going to say the States, as in Canada, United States,
right.
and there's some South American people as well.
Sure.
The Husqvarna chainsaw videos bring in a fair few people from South America. Strangely enough, I think did they make Husqvarnas in Brazil?
No, they're made in. Somebody will say it. I forget.
No, I know that a lot of them are made in Sweden, but
Sweden,
I think they make some. I think they make the 395s in Brazil as well.
Interesting.
Something like that.
You had in your intro. You had a Husqvarna axe or splitting maul.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Interesting.
Have you never seen one?
No, I've not.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was. I did a comparison between the Fiskars X25 and the Husqvarna. I'm going to say the SA 2800 off the top of my head is what it's called. They are both very similar axes. The Husqvarna is a little bit heavier. So the reason why I chose them was because of their length. So I put the two of them head to head as the Husqvarna sort of was. You were starting to see it in the chainsaw shops and stuff like that online, because we don't have chainsaw shops here. We have maybe one, and if you go in, you can buy maybe 4 different types of chainsaws.
I see. Very interesting.
Oh,
hey, we're going to hit the draw button here.
Go for it.
And we're going to see who wins this bumper sticker or one exactly like it. We've got 31 entries. That's usually about where we cut off. So let's see who wins.
Oh, I hope I win. Hope I win.
I hope you do too.
Good luck, everybody.
It's Robin Glock.
Nice.
Congratulations, Robin. Robin is going to get one of these bumper stickers. That is exciting. What you're going to do, Robin, is you're going to send me an email. And what I need you to do is email me at contactmcgtv@gmail.com and send me your name and your mailing address. Let me know that you won the bumper sticker on live stream number 39, and I will mail that out to you. So congratulations, Robin. How fun is that?
Brilliant. Brilliant. These live streams, you've them set up amazing.
We have a good time for sure. So listen, Wooly, I think we're going to have you back because I don't feel like we touched on enough information tonight. So, you know,
the fatal flaw in this plan was you invited an Irish person on, and you asked him questions and he started talking.
Well, that's the perfect guest, believe me. So I think the viewers really enjoyed it, and I definitely loved having you join me tonight, and I do hope that folks, I'm sure that they'll all be going over to your channel to check it out. So keep up the great work there.
You're more than welcome.
And good luck with Red Branch Bushcraft, which is the other channel people can check out as well. And that's a little more involved with with the outdoors that you do with the building the shelters and things like that. So I think that's great. I'm subscribed to both of those channels, so I think that's great. So will you come back and see us again?
Yeah, of course. This has been a brilliant experience. thank you very much. What can I say, guys? Thanks for having me and letting me just blabber on. Maybe that'll be my t-shirt next week. Blabber on.
That's it. Blabber on. That could be your. You could sell some merch there.
Yes.
So, yes, again, thank you so much, because I know that it's super late for you there, and I don't know if you have to work tomorrow or not, but that's a lot for you to stay up. So, thank you. You know, from us over on this side of the pond, as they say, I guess, right? We really appreciate it. So it was great talking with you, Wooly, and to the viewers, I want to thank you for watching tonight. And we will do this again. We'll have Wooly back sometime, especially when you pick out a tractor. We'll love to talk about that as well. So keep us posted, and we'll be chatting with you in the comments. So,
and of course, guys, if you would like to go and ask me anything in the comments, I'm really into comments on videos, so I love responding to comments on videos. So if you are on Woolys World and you want to ask anything, just go ahead and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm probably hitting about 99% response rate, I think, at this stage. So I love it. It's the whole point of YouTube for me, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Ed. Just the community aspect of it.
Absolutely, you know? It's a fantastic community, and I'm amazed at how close we've all gotten. You know, with the different viewers and subscribers and other content creators. It's really a great community of folks from all over the world, obviously.
Exactly.
So
yes,
great. Well, listen. Again, thank you so much. Thank you to the viewers, and all I can say is thank you to everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next time.